Premier Mark Brantley believes the time has come for St. Kitts and Nevis to have significant discussions on Haiti in the context of the deteriorating circumstances there. Haiti is a CARICOM member country with 11.4 million people sharing the island of Hispaniola with the Dominican Republic. The fear is that the lack of political stability, economic uncertainty, increased crime and violence, and the breakdown of important services could force thousands of Haitians to flee their country. According to the Premier, an uncontrolled influx of Haitians into CARICOM member countries can become a major security risk, in addition to dealing with social, health, and education implications.
We have seen over the years, time and time again, what happens when there's instability. There is war, there's violence, people flee. That is why I'm saying the situation in Haiti poses a clear and present danger to us all in the region. If the United States makes it more difficult for them to get to the U.S., then they're likely to turn their attention southward to their CARICOM.
Grade 3 to 6 of the Irishtown Primary School returned to face-to-face instruction on Wednesday, March 1st. Initially, for the month of March, school will take place at 3 locations in the vicinity of Irishtown. On March 1st, grades 3 to 5 attended school at the Olivet Gospel Hall, while grade 6 occupied the Bastille Church of God in the old location. Kindergarten through grade 2 will return to face-to-face instruction for the first time on Thursday, March 2, and will now be situated at the Olivet Gospel Hall. Grades 3 to 5 will then, from March 2nd, shift to the building which once housed the Venezuelan Embassy on Greenland's pasture. Grade 6 will remain at the refurbished Church of God building in Bastille. The decision to restart face-to-face instruction was taken following a period of debriefing sessions organized by the Ministry of Education for staff and pupils regarding a tragic incident that took place on the school's premises, a release from the Education Media Unit said. The Irishtown Primary School staff and students will be provided with ongoing compassionate care by the Counseling Department of the Education sector, fulfilling a commitment of the Ministry of Education, the release added. It is the intention to return to the Irishtown Primary School following some adjustments being made to the physical plant to enhance safety, security, and comfort. The ministry said it is reinforcing its safe schools policy and has promised to do all in its power to encourage adherence by all concerned. The first assembly was held at the Olivet Gospel Hall. Several students expressed their pleasure at being back at school. This decision comes in the wake of the killing of a security guard in the vicinity of the school on February 14th, Valentine's Day. Andre Huey, SKN Newsline. Mr. Michael Davis has been re-elected as president of the St. Kitts and Nevis Chamber of Industry and Commerce. His new executive is comprised of a mixture of first-year members and others re-elected to serve a second year in the term. The new board was ratified at the Chamber's annual general meeting and luncheon held at the St. Kitts Marriott Resort on Tuesday. After the meeting, Mr. Davis said the previous year was challenging, but he is hopeful this term will afford them the opportunity to fulfill some of their planned objectives and initiatives.
The past year was a challenging one for the Chamber. We had some transitions that occurred during our secretariat, and we know we had some transition during the year, so it hampered some of the progress that the Chamber would have liked to achieve during my first year, but we were able to rekindle, to build a relationship with the new government, and we are building the capacity within the Chamber to allow us to be able to engage with the general population, with members and non-members alike, and to show the Federation that the Chamber is here to serve them for the upliftment of the Federation in whole. It's exciting times. You know, I'm happy to be re-elected. We have a really, really strong board of skilled professionals that I think will serve the Federation well and the business community. And I look forward to working with them, to working with our public sector partners in the upcoming years to fulfill the mandate of improving the economic performance of the Federation as we continue our recovery from the pandemic. So I am grateful for the confidence bestowed on me by our business community, and along with my board, I will continue to work towards the upliftment of the Federation.
Mr. Davis explained the areas of capacity building that the Chamber will be focused on in this new term.
Well, certainly, the Chamber, as we came out of the pandemic, we would have appreciated that many of our business did not have the financial reserve to be able to mitigate the shocks that the pandemic presented. And so we'll be offering a series of training. The governor would have referenced earlier with respect to the partial credit guarantee. We'll be ensuring that we bring to the business community all of these facilities that are out there that can assist them in building the resilience necessary within their organization to ensure that they are ready and prepared for whether it be shocks from natural disaster or such as the pandemic.
The new Chamber Board comprises President Mr. Michael Davis, Vice President Mr. Trevor Blake, Treasurer Mrs. Mulrita Percival, Executive Director Mr. Kevin Taylor, Immediate Past President Mrs. Giselle Matthews, and Directors Ms. Sonia Parry, Ms. Patricia Walters, Mr. Kevin Thompson, Mr. Michael Wilkin, Ms. Natalie John, Ms. Starlina Rosary, Mr. Nicholas Menon, and Samaria Prasad Brown. I'm Andre Huey for SKN Newsline.
Hi, Tashawn Wilkin, the first assistant director here at MSR Media and a proud native of St. Kitts and Nevis. MSR Media established itself in the Federation 2 years ago, and in that time, we have produced 9 films in our beautiful nation with international movie stars such as Elizabeth Hurley, Kelsey Grammer, Malin Ackerman, Connie Nielsen, and country music superstar Billy Ray Cyrus, seen by millions of people and promoting our island all over the world. MSR has recently purchased the OTI Hotel, now called the MSR Hotel, which will be our new headquarters and creative hub in the Federation. We are now expanding, and there's a job for you. So, if you want to work behind the scenes on a film set, send an email to jobs@msrmediaskn.com. We have 200 jobs for the 6 movies we are producing this year. Now, if you're interested in the world of visual effects, we are creating a VFX company. Because in the world of making movies, computer-generated images are crucial. So if you have computer skills and if you want a job in the high-tech business, please contact us as we are looking to hire 50 people with the computer skills for our new VFX division. There are lots of opportunities at MSR Media with 200 jobs to fill. So email your resume to jobs@msrmediaskn.com and join the MSR family today.
Living in the Caribbean is like paradise until you try to sell or buy an item online. If only there was an online marketplace that caters to your region. Well, now there is. On Buy Sell SKN, you can easily buy or sell used and new items, browse for services, and it's completely free. Visit buysellskn.com, create your free account, sell your item or service, and get paid.
SKN Newsline website now offers you more news. Log on to www.sknnewsline.com for local, regional, and international news. You can also watch the latest newscast and keep abreast with news in sports, all from sknnewsline.com. That's www.sknnewsline.com. News at your fingertips.
As St. Kitts and Nevis weathers the current external economic shocks, it is critical that structural reforms and strategic investments are made, says Governor of the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, the ECCB, Timothy N.J. Antoine. He was keynote speaker at the annual general meeting and luncheon of the St. Kitts and Nevis Chamber of Industry and Commerce, held on Tuesday at the St. Kitts Marriott Resort.
I will therefore make the point that it is critical that we press on with structural reforms. When I speak of structural reforms, I'm referring to things like improving the business environment. It cannot take and ought not to take 8 months to consolidate a few lots into one lot because of issues in the registry. It cannot. That has to change. That's a simple example. And I know there were efforts to split up the registry, have single registrars and so on, but we have not gotten there yet. We have to reform our education system to shift from subject to skills to really be able to meet the moment in the 21st century. That's key. We have to be able to address the high cost of electricity by moving in the area of renewables. Just some examples, and I could go on and on, but I won't, in terms of what I mean by structural reforms.
The governor disclosed that the St. Kitts and Nevis economy is the 4th largest in the OECS, despite being one of the smallest nations in the sub-region. But this, he said, should not be reason for the country to rest on its economic progress.
You're only larger than Montserrat and Anguilla and Montserrat, in terms of size. But in terms of size of the population, but in terms of size of the economy, you are 4th largest. And of course, within that, of course, is the fact you also have the largest bank in the currency union. So there are some things that you've done well, but now you can't sit on your laurels, you need to press forward. And that's what we want to get into. This slide basically shows you what has happened to growth over the last few years. So recall in 2020, the pandemic. In the case of St. Kitts and Nevis, it's the blue, ECCU is green. What happened? ECCU, 16.5%, almost 17. St. Kitts and Nevis, 14.5%, almost 15%. Major contraction. 2021 in St. Kitts and Nevis, 0.9 contraction. And then last year, what did you do? 7.7. This year we are projecting 4.5%. Next year we are projecting 4.5%. And what you also see is that you are beginning to converge once again with the currency union.
The governor spoke on the theme, the performance and prospects of the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union. Andre Huey, SKN Newsline. The National Day of Prayer on Tuesday was observed at churches across the nation. The focal point for prayer on Nevis was at the Church of God in Bath and on St. Kitts at Rivers of Living Water in Limekiln. Here are excerpts of Tuesday's prayer activities.
The chariots of Pharaoh were after them, but they remembered the name of the Lord. And instead of being defeated, God just rose up, and Pharaoh and his army were placed under a watery grave.
We're saying a Hosanna cry, and no kosher, a mercy cry of repentance and salvation.
And everybody's fighting for position, but nobody's looking souls to get saved. Father, help us tonight. Help us tonight, I pray, Lord, for the balance of the night that we will lay on the altar. No use walking out with some, lay on the altar. That you, Lord, will come, Lord, and sup with us and help us, mighty God, to be a better people, that St. Kitts and Nevis could be a better land and a better federation.
Andre Huey, SKN Newsline.
beautiful. He took one look at you and the angels started singing.
Another wonderful day.
What would you say about staying here for a few months or like a year, just so that we can be together again and just live and love and laugh and have fun and breathe?
Why are you hiding out on a little Caribbean island, singing in a beach bar?
When I came here, I was at peace, and I never left.
This is the beating heart of Nevis. This is what grounds me, what feeds my soul. It's where I found myself.
I hope your life here will be full of joy. Love this island, my son. She will give you more than you can imagine.
Living in the Caribbean is like paradise until you try to sell or buy an item online. If only there was an online marketplace that caters to your region. Well, now there is. On Buy Sell SKN, you can easily buy or sell used and new items, browse for services, and it's completely free. Visit buysellskn.com, create your free account, sell your item or service, and get paid.
If you're looking for a place to host that special event, conference, meeting, social event, party, whatever the occasion, your best option is the Millhouse Convention Center in Palmetto Point, St. Kitts. Located on the picturesque Garvey's Estate, the Millhouse Guest House Convention Center has enough space for outdoor events overlooking the Caribbean Sea. If you're looking indoors, the center is equipped with amenities needed to make your event a success. And by combining both spaces, you're sure to have a memorable event, no matter the occasion. Call the offices at Millhouse Guest House and Convention Center to book your next event on simply the most beautiful place in St. Kitts. Call 668-1392. Millhouse Convention Center at Garvey's Estate, Palmetto Point, St. Kitts. Making your event memorable.
Over the weekend, there were 4 murders across the Northeastern Division. Residents of Malik say it's a worrying trend. They believe the murders are gang-related. Vegas and Caledonia's Cipriani Avenue residents are allegedly warring among themselves over a portion of money that went missing. Residents in the area are very fearful as to what is going on. Police confirmed to CNC3 News that the murders are all gang-related. On Saturday night, Akil Johnson was on his way to his grandmother's house when, upon reaching Chrysanthemum Drive and Petunia Avenue, when an unknown gunman shot him several times. Johnson died at hospital. On Sunday, there were 3 murders. The victims identified as Kibwe Millet, Joel Benjamin, and a woman, 38-year-old Sila Nelson. CNC3 News visited the area at 8th Avenue when North Barataria residents spoke to us off-camera. They say the spike in murders began after a money heist in the area. Senior officers of the Northeastern Division assured that they have increased intelligence in the area and will deploy more police officers. The house behind me was owned by Sila Nelson. Last night, she and her boyfriend were ambushed by gunmen and shot inside this very house. Residents are calling for more police patrols between 2nd Caledonia, Vegas, 7th, 8th, and 9th Avenue in Barataria. Rhonda Dowlat, CNC3 News.
In a Facebook live stream, the head of state noted that he finds the opposition's call to be hypocritical while referencing some of the shortcomings of the David Granger-led administration against the indigenous community.
And I guess it's the political nature of the people we're dealing with, the opportunistic nature of the people we're dealing with.
Since the announcement of the carbon credits sale and the percentage allocated to the indigenous communities, a number of persons have called for it to be higher, with opposition Member of Parliament Don Hastings-Williams being the latest. Hastings-Williams had chastised the government for offering a mere 15% from the sale while calling for it to be 85%. But Dr. Ali said that Guyana's low-carbon development strategy, which earned money for the country under the Norway Agreement, was tossed aside by the APNU-AFC administration.
They tossed aside a strategy that the world embraced, a strategy that placed Guyana along an international path that not only brought recognition but brought respect.
Apart from the 14% from the carbon credits sale, the hinterland and riverine communities continue to benefit from budgetary allocation, President Ali added. Last year, the Ali-led administration inked an agreement with Hess Corporation to sell carbon credits for a minimum of US $750 million. Vice President Dr. Barjagdeo had said that the population size was a key factor in the government's methodology for arriving at 15% for indigenous people. A total of $4.7 billion, or US $22 million, will be distributed to 241 indigenous communities. Reporting for HGP 90 News, Shamar Allen.
It was dark when the two trains collided head-on at high speed.
We heard a big bang, 10 nightmarish seconds. We were turning over in the wagon until we fell on our sides, and until the commotion stopped, there was panic, cables, fire. The fire was immediate. As we were turning over, we were being burned. Fire was right and left.
Greek rescue workers are at the accident site and searching for survivors. Those who made it out were still coming to terms with what happened.
People naturally were scared, very scared actually. They were looking around, searching. They didn't know where they were.
One was a passenger train carrying around 350 people. It departed Athens around 7:30 in the evening, traveling to Thessaloniki. The collision happened with a cargo train outside the city of Larissa in central Greece, and the cause of the crash remains unclear. Stephanie Decker, Al Jazeera.
1989.
China is at the top of the agenda of the U.S. Congress. That was the message delivered during a primetime hearing featuring a highly produced video showing what the U.S. says is China's history of human rights violations.
Innocent citizens were killed.
This was the inaugural sitting of the newly formed House Select Committee on China.
We may call this a strategic competition, but it's not a polite tennis match. This is an existential struggle over what life will look like in the 21st century. And the most fundamental freedoms are at stake.
The panel was created soon after Republicans took control of the House in January. The committee's top Democrat made clear his party was also fully on board.
The goal of the CCP has become clear: to displace U.S. and other competitors, especially in tomorrow's strategic industries. As Chairman Xi himself recently said, quote, "The East is rising while the West is declining."
A series of recent disputes between the U.S. and China have grown in intensity, straining relations between the world's two biggest economies. Now U.S. lawmakers are taking aim at TikTok, the Chinese-owned social media platform used by 100 million Americans. The House Foreign Affairs Committee is considering a measure that would grant the White House powers to ban TikTok from the U.S.
TikTok is a modern-day Trojan horse of the CCP used to surveil and exploit Americans' personal information.
On Monday, the White House ordered TikTok be removed from all U.S. federal government devices, despite TikTok's assurances that all U.S. users' data is stored within the United States. A Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson said Tuesday the U.S. is targeting TikTok due to its popularity in the American marketplace. And in another separate but parallel action, the House Financial Services Committee on Tuesday advanced no fewer than 7 bills, either opposing China or supporting Taiwan. This recent spate of anti-China actions from Washington comes at a time of escalating tensions that now are even less likely to ease. Heidi Jo Castro, Al Jazeera, Washington.
Mantab, TGE Diebe Eagles and KFC Trinity Challengers United each registered wins in SKNFA Division 1 football action recently. On Tuesday at the Newtown playing field, KFC Trinity Challengers United defeated 606 Lodge Patriots 3-0. Goal scorers Jody Walters in the 29th minute, Donnell Borin in the 43rd minute and Ricardo Lewis in the 90th minute. After the match, coach of Challengers Orrin Hughes said the result was due to the work they did in training to bounce back from their opening defeat last week.
Well, for the most part, the pressing of the ball, making the opponent cough it back up. So we worked on that during the days that we had, along with our defensive principles, how, when, where to press and when to make sure you keep the opponent playing in front of you when we don't have the ball.
Morbil Fai of Lodge said they have work to do to improve on their shooting in order to get better results.
I mean, we had a change in the team and I guess lack of preparedness for this match and some individual and collective mistakes, but we want to pick up on the next game. Well, we need to work a little bit more on the attacking because obviously we as I said, we didn't put some chances. There was some important goals we needed to score and didn't capitalize on that. So,
in the night's other match, a bloodbath as TGA Diebe Eagles demolished Molyneux FC 17-0. Goal scorers for Diebe, Ronaldo Benjamin in the 4th minute, Ronaldo Matthews scoring 6 goals in the 14th, 45th, 55th, 57th, 58th and 60th minutes. Josiah Bradshaw scoring a hat-trick in the 16th, 21st and 64th minutes. Jason Phipps scoring 2 goals in the 24th and 28th minutes. Jaquan Rochester in the 30th minute, Roger Smith in the 44th minute, Sylvain Romney in the 47th minute and 2 goals from Lachelle Pogson in the 59th and 67th minutes. On Monday in their first match of the season, Mantab trounced Hard Times 6-1. Jermaine Carey scored twice in the 5th and 45th minutes, Eversley Davis scoring a hat-trick in the 12th, 13th and 20th minutes, and Sylvester Alexander scoring from the penalty spot in the 50th minute. Kyron Liebert of Hard Times said while the result was not favorable, it gave them an idea of what they need to work on to improve this season.
Well, the game was Mantab is a very good team. This is our first game of the season, new players coming out, so we figure this is a trial, a rebuild, but we're getting there. Mantab is a good team, but we're going to get there.
And how do you look to go forward in terms of the other games coming up?
Well, as I say, it's a process, a building process. We just have to take each game at a time, and hopefully we could achieve what we want to achieve.
Darren Huggins, coach of Mantab, said the effort of his players was good, considering this match was like a warm-up game for the team.
Well, the performance wasn't all that bad. We haven't training as much, but the effort the guys put out was nice, but all in all we got work to do. This is just like a warm-up game, so it's good to see what's going on for tonight.
The SKNFA Division 1 continues this Thursday with matches at the Virchilds playing field.
Welcome to the SKN Newsline Weather Report. I am Janil Boole. Here is a look at the forecast for St. Kitts and Nevis. For a more detailed weather report, visit our website at www.sknnewsline.com.